This is the Hooters Legends Show, live every week from Dallas-Fort Worth area Hooters restaurant.
Touchdown Cowboys! Nate Newton opened up a gargantuan hole.
Now, your hosts, Nate Newton and Mickey Spagnola.
Oh boy, I think this is going to be a special one. I can sense it already. This is Mickey Spagnola. Along with me, Nate Newton, and we're at the Hooters in Arlington for the Cowboys Legend Show. Nate, our master of ceremonies out there, and you got everybody stirred up already.
You know what, Mickey? We got some faithful followers over here in this area, and I got a whole group that's been with me for 2 years, Mick, so we ready to ride and follow you wherever we need to go.
Well, let's start rocking, because we do call this the Legend Show, right?
Oh, yes, it is.
And I've kind of been nice to everybody, all our guests. I've told them they're all legends, right?
Right.
Well, for the first time this year, we got a real legend.
Yes, we do.
Hall of Famer, Mel Renfro.
Hey.
Let's give it up for him.
Yay! The Bro-Fro in the house.
All right, way to go. Now, you're legitimizing our show, because we're supposed to have legends, and we get a Pro Football Hall of Famer and a Ring of Honor member. You're the first one of the year, so we appreciate you being here.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
And it looks like a lot of people showed up to see you here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of enthusiastic fans out there. I'm happy to see you, and we're going to make a lot of noise tonight.
That sounds good. Mel played with the Cowboys from 1964 to 1977. He appeared in 4 Super Bowls, has 2 Super Bowl rings, and there's not many honors that this man didn't accomplish during his career with the Dallas Cowboys. And, Nate, I know you feel like this is a special night also.
You know, I'm always in awe of the Cowboys Ring of Honor, Hall of Fame guys. Mel, just glad that you're here, glad that you brought your lovely wife, man. And we're gonna have some people asking questions about the old Cowboys, the new Cowboys, and on. So bear with us and take us through this show.
Yeah, and for you folks here, if it happens to be the first time, you know, this is your show. Nate and I don't want to have to ask a bunch of questions. We rely on you guys, and just know that we'll be giving away a football autographed by Mel. We're going to have a contest at the end of the show.
Yes, sir.
For 2 tickets to the Redskins game the Sunday before Thanksgiving. We have I mentioned the autographed football. We have some T-shirts, hats. We've got a whole bunch of things to give away tonight, and also autographs during the break. Nate will kind of organize that. Brenda's got coupons to get the people up, and you come up when you're called. So, big night tonight here at the Hooters in Arlington. We're on Collins Road, just north of Cowboys Stadium, by the way. So, It's not too late to get here. And, Mel, you know, I was going through Drew Pearson and Frank Lux's book to just kind of make sure I remembered everything that I thought I remembered about you. And a very interesting career with the Cowboys, Nate. He was a running back at Oregon, comes here, and they tell him, well, you're a defensive back. No, wait a minute, you're a running back. No, you're going to return kicks. No, you're a oh, wait a minute, a cornerback. And you kind of moved around, but a valuable piece to the Cowboys' success when they finally turned it around and started winning championships and getting into NFL title games and Super Bowls.
Well, yeah, you know, Coach Landry felt like I could play most any position, and the position that was going to benefit the team the most my rookie year was on defense. Of course, my running skills allowed me to return punts and kickoffs, and actually my first 2 years I led the league in those categories. And also, I gained more yards than our offensive backs did.
So, but they wanted him to play defensive back. Can you imagine that?
Oh, yeah. I've always wondered, when you, being a multi-athletic guy, how long did it take you to get comfortable and feel real good at your cornerback spot?
Well, actually, right off the bat, because, you know, when we, in practice, the defensive backs would go against man-to-man, that play the safety position. We would do it all. So I learned playing cornerback, just doing it in practice, and I particularly paid attention to Cornell Green. I mean, Cornell Green was one of the great ones, great man-to-man defensive backs, all-pro guy, a Pro Bowler, And I would watch him in practice, and I learned from him. So that basically is how I really learned to play cornerback, is watching one of my teammates.
Now, Mel, you joined the Cowboys after that '64 draft. Did you know much about them at that time?
Nothing at all. I hadn't even followed the Cowboys. They had just been in the league, 4 years?
Right.
Just an up-and-coming team, and I read some on the magazines or Sports Illustrated where they were picked to win the Eastern Division in 1964. So that's about all I knew about them. I didn't know who Don Meredith was or Bob Lilly or Leroy Jordan or any of those guys until I got to Dallas and got to camp, and I got to know them really well, really fast.
What about Tom Landry? Had you heard of him?
Just vaguely.
Yeah.
Not so much. So like I say,
they weren't household words at that time, right?
No, they were just young bucks, and they were just getting going. So I learned about those guys, I guess, my first year.
I mean, but after you got into the league and after you settled in, did you realize that one day that you would be who you are right now?
No, I had no idea.
How long was it before the light clicked that, man, I can really do this?
Well, I think it was probably my third year because, my first year was good, was real good, but we had a losing season. We didn't have a winning season, but my next year we were 7-7 and went to a playoff game, or Losers Bowl they called it. But then I kind of peaked in that third year. I started to believe, and I guess everybody started to believe, because we had Bob Hayes and we just had a lot of talent, and I think we were maybe 12-2 that third year, and I thought we could go on to to greatness as a team. I didn't know I'd do it as an individual, but as a team, I thought we could really excel.
That's Pro Football Hall of Famer Mel Renfro, our legend tonight here on the Cowboys Legend Show. Nate Newton working the crowd. I'm Mickey Spagnola, and we'll return with the Cowboys Legend Show here on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Back to tonight's Hooters Legend Show. Here are Nate Newton and Mickey Spagnola.
And Hall of Famer Mel Renfro with us here at the Hooters in Arlington. And we've got a long ways to go yet, Nate. So anybody driving around out there listening to us on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, we're on Collins, just north of Cowboys Stadium, south of I-30. Come on out. We still have room, although it's kind of a packed house here tonight. And we'll continue moving on here with the show. Autographs at the next break, is that correct?
Yes, sir, Mickey. It's autographs. We're going to have giveaways, autographs. Remember, we're going to have a ball later in the show from Mel, so I'm excited. We're waiting on you, Mick.
Well, I'm waiting on you because, as I told these people, we're not here to ask questions. It's their show, so they can determine how big a show it is if they've got questions to ask.
We got Steve from South Oak Cliff, and he got a tremendous question for Mel.
Say, Mel, do you think there's anybody in the league that can play every position you were playing back in the day?
Anybody in the league that can play positions like I did. There are probably players that are capable. I don't know who they are, but see, things are so specialized nowadays. Back when I played, there were guys that played many different positions, but now, a guy's a kicker, he's a kicker. If a guy's any position, that's all he does. So even if they were versatile, we wouldn't be able to tell because they just don't do it.
Yeah, back then it was like, okay, Mel can run the ball a little, he can play free safety, he can play corner, return kicks, and they didn't sit there and worry about, well, we can't put him back there to return kicks because he might get hurt and then we lose our starting free safety. They just said, go back there and return kicks, right?
Absolutely. I remember some games where I returned 12 to 15 kicks, and I played full-time on all the special teams, plus full-time on defense. So it was a different era, and then players played a little different.
And you didn't, raise your hand and go, a little tired here, I need to take a break?
Not with Coach Landry, you would.
All right, Nate Newton, our master of ceremonies, is rolling with questions out here at the Hooters in Arlington for Mel Renfro.
We got Big Ben, man, from the University of Texas, man, trying to make some things happen, Mick.
What was your favorite position and the favorite game you played in?
Well, I can't say that there was a favorite game or a favorite position. I know I played safety was easy to play. I got a lot of interceptions when I was playing safety. Cornerback was more of a challenge, and I like cornerback because it was man on man and you showed your skills. Unfortunately, I played it so well that they stopped throwing against me, and my interception rate went down. So, I think that both positions are positions that I would love to play.
And when you first started playing cornerback, there was none of this zone stuff, right? It was man-to-man.
There wasn't. Not until about my third or fourth year when they brought in the zones. It was strictly man-to-man with a free safety in the middle. Of course, we had linebackers drop into certain areas that would give you a little bit of help. But basically, you were on your own out there, and it was more challenging, and that I liked it much better than what you see today. I think 60 to 80% of the time you're seeing that two deep zone. Even the blitzes are zone blitzes, so the game's changed.